Welcome to Penny for Your Shots, Conversations and Cocktails with Brilliant Women, the podcast where we uncork the stories and insights of exceptional female leaders from all walks of life. Our goal is to serve up wisdom, tips, and inspiration, and to support each other in rediscovering ourselves and what sets our souls on fire. We'll also share personal memories, paired with friends and a favorite beverage. I'm your host, Penny Fitzgerald, and I believe that the best stories are served up over a glass of wine or a cocktail. So grab a glass, get comfy, and let's pour ourselves into Penny for Your Shots.
I met Judy Hahn through my Sassy Sisters networking group, and we became fast friends. We share many beliefs and ways of moving through the world, even though we were raised quite differently. It's been fun uncovering the similarities and the differences, and I look forward to learning more as time goes on. One of the things we talked about was what to do when you have a day where you just feel a little off. Judy recommended watching or listening to a short inspirational video or clip from a favorite author. I hope you enjoy this episode, and I hope you find ways to lift yourself up when you feel a little wonky. Start your day with some meditation, an uplifting podcast, and journal about your gratitude. It's hard to feel bad when you're grateful. Give it a try, and I hope you have a great day. Here is Judy Hahn. Judy,
Oh,
you look fantastic.
well, thank you. You look lovely yourself.
Thank you.
I realized I should have worn something that had some color in it instead of a black t-shirt.
That's all right.
I'm
Love your earrings.
Oh, thanks. They were a gift to myself for my 70th birthday. They
Nice.
represent all the religions in the world.
I love it.
They are engraved on the back it says, "In acknowledging all paths, spirit lives fully within me."
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's a lovely lady. She has Parkinson's now, so she doesn't do any more jewelry, but they're very special.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah.
So what's the meaning behind that? How did you come to desire that, something that represented all the different religions?
I think it was, I'm very aware of how the religion I was born into. Okay. But I don't practice any particular, I really did probably until I was 12, 13. And then I kind of saw religion as, I was born Jewish. And I remember like if somebody wasn't Jewish or they were of a different skin color or ethnicity, I heard, well, as long as you're just friends, it was one of those things that I felt separated people instead of bringing people together.
Yep.
And so, and I've experimented. I'm very spiritual. When I saw this woman, and when I decided I was going to buy something of hers for my 70th birthday. And so I was trying on different earrings, and I had tried these on, and I tried on a couple other pairs, and she said to me, "I know those are a little bit more expensive, but not everybody has the power to be able to wear those."
Oh, wow.
And I said, "Oh, that's interesting." And she said, "But here," she said, "I will sell them to you for whatever the price of the other earrings you're thinking about buying, because seriously, you really are powerful enough to wear these earrings."
I love
That's
that.
all I needed to hear. And plus I think that what was engraved on the back is such a brilliant thing, because it doesn't have to be any of these religions. It just has to be spirit. It has to be source or whatever you want it to be. And so I'm very open. I accept people. I don't ever want to be judged, and so I don't judge other people. And so they became very important to me. I wear them a
Wonderful.
ton of the time, and I have tons of earrings because I also have a theory. You can gain and lose as much weight as you want, but your earrings will always fit you.
I say that all the time too, that, oh, my high school earrings still fit. So,
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I'm good. I am so
yeah.
good.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Yeah, I was raised similarly, not Jewish, but the religion that I grew up in, it was very important at the time to be you didn't date outside of your, well, okay. It's a little bit
Let's put it
convoluted.
this way. What they knew we did and what they didn't know we did is a
Well,
whole different issue.
yeah, I mean, I had friends in from many different religious backgrounds and denominations, but they were all Protestant.
Oh, okay. That makes
So
that
that was kind of the line or the separation,
the expectation. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
But
never good with living up to anybody's expectations. But I really didn't date. I really didn't date. It wasn't and actually I was 32 when I got engaged. And still my mother said, if you had been any younger, I would have put my foot down. And because my husband's born Catholic. And I
oh,
said, and I would have put my foot right on top of yours.
yeah, this is your life, you know? Oh, wow.
But you have to understand there's a reason behind it. We are a very small people, right?
Mhm.
Of all the people in the United States, there's 2%. And
Wow.
uh, if the Jews are going to maintain the religion Judaism, they really
Mm.
need to marry within their own religion. I knew I wasn't going to
Wow.
have kids. I mean, I somewhere in my mind, I knew I wasn't going to have kids, and I also knew that if I did have kids, my husband would be letting me raise my kids Jewish because that would have been important to me.
Uh-huh.
And actually, in the Jewish
So
religion,
interesting.
the children always take the religion of the mother. So it really didn't
Really?
matter that he was a Catholic
Uh-huh.
because they would have been Jewish in the eyes of the Judaism.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah,
It's so
it's interesting.
fascinating to me.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so you married a Catholic boy.
Yeah, he was
Me
an
too.
altar boy and he was all the things, but then
Yeah.
he really he doesn't know when he lost that religious kind of thing. I have an idea, but I it's him and I
Yeah.
want to talk about it
Oh,
because it's his thing,
it's personal to him.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But I kind of can identify where that might have happened, where he might have lost some faith,
Hmm.
and that's okay. You know, all that matters is that where we are is not at a different place, right?
Right. Right.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I mean, I'm his education for being spiritual. I my husband's from the south side of Milwaukee,
Okay.
which is a very
Very
German, very
Catholic. Yeah.
old-fashioned, very Catholic place.
Yeah.
And I was from the north side of Chicago. And
Okay.
where I grew up was probably 99% Jewish.
Okay.
So very different people, very
Yeah.
different upbringings. If it
And
had
not
been
far
for a
apart.
blind date, our paths would never have crossed. And
Wow.
next September is our 40th
No.
wedding anniversary. So
Nice.
something's working.
That's fantastic. Congratulations. Yeah, that's
Thank you.
amazing.
Yeah,
Oh, love that. Well, and to me, it's not, I mean, there's one thing to be spiritual and your faith is personal, but your religion, your denomination, that's not to me the important part. And that is in my mind, that's what separates us. And I don't subscribe to that too much anymore either. I mean,
right.
It's just, yeah, the way we were raised is really, I don't know, a blessing and a curse.
Mm-hmm. And there's so much, and times were different.
Mm-hmm.
I would think considerably older than you. And, my parents were born and lived through the Depression. My
Mine
father
too.
came
Mm-hmm.
from Austria.
Oh, uh-huh.
So there's a lot of stuff that got carried
Yeah.
forward, right? And
Right.
that's not our stuff. We get to create
Yeah.
our own stuff.
That's true. That's true. But it's fascinating to me too that the stuff from our parents and our ancestors, it carries forward too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes once, actually.
Yeah, it's the way it's always been done.
Yeah.
That's the way
Well,
that,
right.
yeah,
And so
that
that
doesn't.
is the way it should always be done, except,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, that's not me.
Me either. Oh, Judy. Same.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay, so you are a Midwesterner.
I was born in Chicago.
Yeah.
I lived there until I went to college.
Uh-huh.
I went to college in Iowa.
Real. Oh,
Yeah,
you went to university, right? University of Iowa?
University of Iowa,
Okay.
Iowa City. Did a third year abroad, came back, changed from an art major to a French major. Finished my schooling, I thought, and then went back to Chicago to live with my parents to find out I was one credit short of graduation.
Oh no.
Yeah. I took a paranormal psychology class at Northeastern University to tell you who I am, right? That's how I finished up my degree. And then the University of Iowa contacted me and asked me if I wanted to come back and be a teaching assistant at
Nice.
the University of Iowa. And
Uh-huh.
so I taught French at University of Iowa while I did my master's in French.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. And then
Wow.
every year they pick one of their students to go on an exchange program and teach abroad. And because I think I was a pain in the butt for everybody, I was the rebel on campus as always. They named me to that position. Let's get rid of her.
Lucky you.
Yeah, let's get rid of her so she doesn't go on for a
Oh,
PhD.
oh my gosh.
So that's, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's good to stir the pot a little bit.
Well, I
Get people
didn't do it
thinking.
intentionally, but I think
No.
that, many times that has ended up to be in my favor.
Yes, most things are.
Yeah. I always say everything's always working out for me.
That's a wonderful mantra. I love that.
It
Order it
comes
up.
from, I don't know if you know Abraham Hicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Abraham is always, everything's always working out for me.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start feeling that, then you start to attract it. So that
Yeah,
is my,
absolutely.
that is my, it's the way I live my life.
Yeah, I try to.
Well, we have days where like this morning was
Yeah.
not, it was like I found myself in a really weird place this morning. And then on my
Ah.
way to Pilates, I put on Abraham Hicks and I listened to it and I was like, oh yeah, okay,
A
let's change that.
little reminder. I was
Yeah,
going
I
to ask
do.
you how you get out of it when you get in, if something funky happens or if you get, if something is not feeling right, what do you do to
A
change
lot
it?
of times I just look for like you can subscribe to their stuff on YouTube. They're
Mhm.
just 14, 15-minute little things. I don't need to
Little pick
watch
me
it.
up.
It's yeah. And sometimes I'll search for a particular topic and sometimes I just, do the roulette wheel. Whatever comes up is what I needed to have. So
Well, right. And there's something to that too, I feel.
yep, absolutely.
Mhm.
You're absolutely correct. And today it was, I didn't have time. I thought, I'm driving down the street going, now what am I going to do? Oh yeah, Abraham Hicks. So I was like, yeah, you don't have time or yeah, you have to concentrate on the street and where you're driving.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm in
yeah.
Florida.
And you just attract what you need.
Yeah. and came home and everything was all different. So,
Oh, good.
yeah.
One thing I hear from female entrepreneurs all the time is that they don't want to feel salesy. They don't want to bug their friends and family, and they don't want to hustle and grind for sales. They may have received some bad advice telling them to post more on social media. So they post and they post and they post. And that doesn't feel good. So they either stop, are inconsistent, or don't convey the right message. I'm Penny Fitzgerald, and I've been training women entrepreneurs for more than 18 years, leading one of the top 3 direct selling teams in my former company. And now I'm providing my proven language, systems, and tools that will help you serve your customers rather than feel like you're selling or like you're constantly working. I've put together a 3-day free live event to teach female entrepreneurs a radically different way of running your business, so it's not running you. A way of doing business that's in service of others, one you can be proud of, where your customers will love you, and one that helps you reach your goals. I'm holding this event starting on Monday, January 6th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time via Zoom. You can save your spot by going to my website. That's pennyforyourshots.com and click the green button at the top labeled Save My Spot. Or just text the word SERVE to 319-448-3545 and I'll text you back that direct link. This course is normally $297, but I'm offering it to you for free. Don't miss your opportunity to shift your business from selling to serving. I hope you'll join me, and I can't wait to toast to your success. Cheers. Good. Oh gosh, this is so fun. So, okay, so tell us a little bit about what you do. You have wonderful skincare products that you're working with now.
That is correct. I have gone through many iterations of my life. I closed my functional wellness coaching business in December of 22.
Okay.
But I've always had a penchant for educating people, for health and wellness, and for things that can bring or make someone's life better in some way, shape, or form. And I was not looking for that business. I actually have 2 businesses I run. I was not looking for either of them, but the universe had other ideas. The skincare is the most recent. I was noticing that I have a condition it's very painful. And I was noticing I've had it since 1996 or 7, something like that. I try to just ignore it, I just go about my business. But I realized when I looked in the mirror that I was noticing the quantity of wrinkles that I had on my face. And I had an interesting experience. Previous to functional wellness, I was in IT. And I had gone into a store because I had some questions about some technology. And it was like my very first encounter with what I felt was kind of ageism.
Oh, really?
And yeah, remember, I want to talk technology.
Yeah.
And a kid, and I look older. I am 72, but I really looked 72 at the time. And I really did. I'd love to show you the before and after pictures because you would, it's hard to even believe. I hardly believe it. But he was talking to me in a way that was kind of like, okay, well,
no.
let's see. And it was very a tone of voice, basic, and I thought to myself, oh, honey, you barked up the wrong tree here. And I just flipped the switch and I
You take him
started
to
talking
school?
to him. Yeah, I started talking to him in like super tech language, and like he was just floored. But shortly after that, a friend of mine, many people come to me to ask if I will look at different kinds of products. If they're healthy enough, I will take a look at them. And she said that this company was brand new in the United States, in North America, and they banned 3,000 toxic ingredients, where the EU bans 2,000, and the United States bans about a dozen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woohoo, United States.
Go
So,
us.
yeah. And so I said, oh yeah, sure, but I'll give you the same deal that I'll give everybody. You get a month, right?
Uh-huh.
Never had a response in a month of anything I've ever used. I've
Yeah.
never cared what I'm the one bar of goat's milk
Yeah.
soap,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
you're gonna here's 9 products you want me to try in a ritual.
Yeah.
Hey, I will do whatever it is twice a day for a month if that's what because I have to give it the full,
Yep.
everything Judy. And I did. And that first month there was such an enormous change. I mean, all the wrinkles were gone. What you see now is pretty
Uh-huh.
close to what the 1 month was.
Wow.
Um, and had I not done before and after pictures, which we ask everybody to do now because it's just a
Mhm.
kick, even after a couple of days, to see the difference between when you started and when you have been using them. And I will probably forever use these products twice a day. I use 9 products in the morning, actually, 8 products in the morning, and I think I use 5 in the evening because we only have 2 rituals. I mean, it's not like the United States. You have eye cream and day cream and night cream and ear cream and nose cream and around your eye cream and
Yeah.
over your brow cream and serum
Yeah.
for this and serum. No, why I enjoy it is because it's very much part of my functional wellness. In other words, we look at the root cause, and the root cause isn't, day or night or my eyes or anything else. It's the skin cells. And so what these products do is they nourish the skin cells. So they're
Hmm.
actually hydrating, they're actually repairing. And so we do cleanse, we hydrate, and we repair or nourish. And that is what happened to my skin. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about the fact
Mm.
that in 1 month I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I said, you know what? The business side of it is so fascinating. It's so fair. It's more than any kind of company I've ever seen before. I said, if it can help me now walk into a place and the guy isn't going to talk to me like I'm a grandma, then why don't I do that for everybody? And
Oh.
and we do, men, women, Korean skin. I didn't know anything about it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I like all I knew was skin was my largest organ, and I had to put
Mhm.
healthy things on it to make sure that because there's no filtration system, whatever goes on it goes in your bloodstream. I need to stay healthy with healthy products. I mean, that to me was skincare, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now I realize that the Koreans actually start with their kids. They teach them the same
Mm.
kind of nourishment of the largest organ of their body, and really, I had no idea. Korea is to beauty products as
Mm-hmm.
Paris is to fashion.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, I had no idea. And so it was not a planned business, but it's so delightful. I love to if anybody wants to do spa parties, have their friends
Uh-huh.
over, and just everybody tries the product. If they want to buy some, that's great. If they don't want to buy some, at least we had a fun evening together,
Yeah.
afternoon. A
Right.
bunch of women getting together, acting like teenagers. Oh, let me try that. It's like it's very cool. It's very
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So it's a Korean product, then a South Korean
yes.
company.
The gentleman who created the company actually created most of the formulations in Korea. He
Okay.
actually is a multi-billionaire.
Oh, wow.
So when he found this plant called tiger grass, he didn't need to do anything really. He could have done it, sold it to L'Oreal or Dior or any of those companies, but he also had a plan where he said, I've sold all that stuff to all these people. I want the average person to be able to
Mm.
afford these products, and I want people to be able to sell the products and make good money. So we tease about change your skin, change your finances. Seriously, there are so many people who've been able to do that thanks to the products. But he found something called tiger grass, and what it is the tigers, when they get wounded, they look for these plants and they roll around in it, and it heals their wounds. So he thought, wow, this is really interesting. So he took the plant, and well, you'll love it. Well, $2.5 billion. He bought an island off of South Korea, just like everyone would, right?
As one does.
Yeah. Instead of taking the money for himself. This is what I think is so amazing. And I met him, not that I understood a word he said without the translator, but he bought an island, he created a plant, and he got a contract for a World Heritage site, which is lava energy water, that there are only 5 contracts in the world for it. And the plant actually is made so that the water comes into the plant. Now you understand that the water has been filtered by lava for 400,000 years, so it's very mineralized. So it's feeding the tiger grass. The tiger grass in like 15 days went from quarter size to the size of the palm of his hand. We call it giant tiger grass, isn't that?
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, they call it giant Byampool. Byampool, I imagine, is tiger grass in Korean.
Okay.
And from there, he decided to create a company. And this is his, his heritage product, his heritage ingredients. And the interesting thing, like I move at the speed of light. I'm like,
Yeah.
and this has taught me to slow down. So it's really interesting because I feel that in some ways I've always touted self-care to people, and how with my clients in functional wellness, that self-care is not something that's selfish. It is it's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
You have to give yourself the downtime, the self-care, the whatever it is. And so I use it as a way of slowing down a little bit. And every once in a while, I'll even put a candle and try to do it slower in the evening or something. If I have time, I don't do it often that way. But, just to remind myself that there is an ancient ritual that really is behind this, which is why we call them rituals. And there's only 2. There's a basic set of products, and there's an advanced set of products. And that's because we're feeding the cells of the skin and not different parts of the face or the neck or whatever. They're safe for around the eyes, the neck. We have shampoo and conditioner. You need to understand that. And I don't know if people really do, but coming from a functional wellness point of view, the skin doesn't have a filtration system. So whatever you put on your skin or your scalp, that goes into your bloodstream, and you risk getting conditions or illnesses based on the toxic ingredients that are in those products, which is also then why he expanded to personal care products. The best body lotion I've ever used, and I hate body lotion, so that's big for me to say. Shampoo, conditioner. With my curly hair, I like to put something on it so it doesn't get frizzy. Here in Florida, there's an oil that you can put just a couple drops, and then it like goes, it's back. And it's not just for curly hair. I mean, it's to give the nourishment again to the hair that it needs.
Yeah,
So they have some nutritional products also.
Yeah. Yeah. With curling your hair, I hardly ever curl my hair anymore, but using curling irons and styling products or styling tools. Yeah, you need to.
Oh yeah, I imagine that would
drier
be
than
something. Yeah. I'm one of those really spoiled people. Although I have to say, in the 70s, was it the 70s? When I was in high school, yeah, the 70s, I straightened my hair.
Yeah.
But But in college, when I stopped straightening my hair was tight enough curl to be an afro. I know it's hard to believe because it's pretty soft curls now, but that's what
Uh-huh.
age does.
Yeah.
Goes,
Age
yeah,
does so many
I'm just going to
things.
relax.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that we're too tired to be curly now.
Yeah, here we
So,
go.
but no, I can imagine something like that oil. And actually, I did a an event this weekend, and it was so funny because somebody saw the hair products and they said, "Well, are they any good?" And I was like, "Well, feel my hair." I mean, what could I? That's all I could say. I don't know how to tell you otherwise. She was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, your hair's really soft." So I was
Thank
like, "Yeah, I
you.
really like it." So there's body wash and body lotion
Yeah.
and shampoo, conditioner. So it's really very much a complete product line so that
Nice.
we know that we're getting those, 3,000 banned ingredients.
Okay. Well, I have a couple questions.
Sure.
So going back to slowing down. I
Mhm.
feel like in business too, do you agree that you have to slow down to speed up? You have to,
Absolutely. Because
yeah.
here's what happens, and a little of the functional wellness, if you'll bear with me. Just because I don't practice doesn't mean I don't preach.
That's right.
Um, I don't know that the like most people are willing to acknowledge the amount of stress that they have in their life. I've been at meetings where I hear somebody go, "Oh, I had to take my mom here and I had to take my dad there and the kids and
Mm.
the schlep them here and they had gymnastics and then I had to go here and there and I did the carpool and the next one sitting at the table goes, 'Oh, you think your life is bad? Let me tell you what I'm doing.'"
You don't win for being the busiest.
I was just going to say, it's not a badge of honor, guys,
No,
right? As a matter
no.
of fact, that's what really, really made me aware of, because I asked afterwards, so do you think you have a high stress level? Oh, no.
Oh,
Mm-mm. And I'm like, you know what happens? You have stress, and then you get used to it, right? It becomes your
mhm,
norm. And then you have all these other things that are like the kids and your parents. And because we're sandwich generation, right?
mhm.
Taking care of our parents, taking care of our kids and everybody else's. And then you have the doctor tells you some bad news about some test you had or whatever it is. Your stress level goes up. But not you, but the
Mhm.
you says, "Oh, that's just normal." And so you accept that stress level as your new norm.
Mm.
And people, you want to know what creates the majority of inflammation in the body, which is what creates chronic degenerative disease? It's stress.
Cortisol. Mm-hmm.
It's stress, right? High cortisol levels, burning up a little bit of those adrenals. And what's happening at nighttime? People don't know how to eat properly. And I'm not just talking about the crap that when we get upset. There really is something called eating hygiene. It
Mm.
has to do with the fact that our bodies start digestion before we ever even put food in our mouth. And people don't know that. And then things like sleep, there's sleep hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
Go to bed at a specific hour, get up
Yeah.
at a specific hour. The room
Mm-hmm.
needs to be dark. It should be
Mm-hmm.
quite cool. Um, your phone shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be
All
looking
the
at it before you
things.
go to bed. And all of those things,
Yeah.
all of it adds up. And then people wonder, yeah, but how did I, and I, what's like, I have something wrong with me?
Mm.
They go to the doctor says, "Oh, you have a thyroid problem," which is the biggest thing doctors tell people. And then
Mm-hmm.
Western medicine has interesting ways of dealing with things because Western
Mm-hmm.
medicine is all about what's wrong with you and what medication can I give you?
Mm-hmm.
Put a
Instead of
Band-Aid on
staying
whatever is
well.
wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Staying well, or as a functional wellness coach or a functional medicine doctor will do. It's about, what do you have? Why do you have it? Let's figure out the root cause and get rid of
Yeah, that would
it,
be
right?
great.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I was at I had to have an endoscopy, and the
Mhm.
anesthesiologist walked in the room. She said, "Oh, you're 72." I was like, "This is not news to me, honey." And then she says, "Oh, and you don't take any medications." I was like, "Right?" Like it was a miracle. You're
Yeah.
72 and you don't take any medication, because I listen to all these people and they're taking blood pressure
Oh,
medication and
lists a
diabetes
mile long.
medication
Yeah.
and PPIs, which you really shouldn't. PPI is to lower your stomach acid. A doctor
Uh-huh.
will tell you, she told me, you have too much stomach acid. And I said, "Excuse me?" This was the doctor after the endoscopy. I said, "Really? Too much stomach acid?" There is no such thing, really. It's stomach acid in the wrong place, because it
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
going up, you were,
Up. Yep.
getting
Mm-hmm.
reflux or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "Oh, stomach acid in the wrong place." I was like, bingo.
She's not used to talking to someone who knows what the difference is.
Well, and I think it's important. And I think that the other thing is, and this is a whole nother conversation, but I think people don't ask questions. They believe that the doctor is the
Mm, the authority.
all-knowing, right? So yes,
Yeah.
back to self-care and slowing down in your business, it's
Mhm.
huge. You cannot take care of others if your cup is
Mm-hmm.
empty, right?
Exactly.
So
It's the
you
whole
need,
the airline analogy,
oh,
put your
absolutely.
mask on first before you can
I
put
used to
the
say that to people,
others.
they used to roll their eyes. I'm like, "You're not going to like this, but I
It's
don't
the truth.
care."
It's
It's
it's a
the
really
truth.
simple picture that really illustrates it. Yeah. And the whole busyness and stress, I feel like I believe it's our mindset too around those things that we have to do. Like when you mentioned that, someone had to take their mom to a doctor appointment or their dad or whatever, you get to do that. How privileged you are that you still have your mom and dad. You know,
Exactly.
the way that you look at things really shifts your perspective, and it shifts the way that you process and how it
Well, and
affects
it
you.
shifts how your body is going to react to it too,
Exactly.
because people
Exactly.
don't realize that their words create their reality.
Exactly.
And that,
Yeah.
what you see, what you say is what
Hmm.
you get.
Yeah.
And that's the whole law of attraction. If people
Hmm.
would understand that, if I say something's hard, guess what? It's going to be hard. I made
Yeah.
it hard. It's going to
You're
come
ordering it up.
right. Or
Hmm.
and you may notice that if you encounter people and you feel like, sometimes you get near somebody and they barely say a few words, and you feel like, "Oh, this is not,"
It's not
you
going well.
know, right? Because it's their energy. Their energy is so
Yes.
negative, everything that they put, and you're being positive, like it's like
It's
repelling, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Like magnets one's flipped the wrong way.
exactly. But
Yeah.
it's important to recognize that and be kind to those people, but don't choose to be around those people, because
Yeah.
you need to keep your frequency and your
Yes.
self
Guard your
high.
heart, guard
Yeah.
your energy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can give
Energy
more of it to others.
vampires. What?
Yeah, if you guard your energy, if you protect it, you're available to serve more people and
Yes.
serve others. Yeah. So
Yep.
it's important.
Yes,
Okay, so
absolutely.
the other question, Judy, getting back to the products that
Oh,
you have,
uh-huh.
um, why 8 or 9 steps in the regimen? What are they about?
Well, there's three groupings if you want to look at it that way.
Okay.
Like I said, I was the 1 bar of goat's milk
Yeah,
soap
yeah, yeah. I'm
girl.
a pretty simple girl too.
Well, and out of the other side of my mouth, I'm going, "No way in hell am I going to do these things."
That thought occurred to me. I'm like 9. What?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for
Well,
that.
the first two are cleansing. There's a dual cleansing system. And I did not realize, and I've done a lot of research now because obviously if I'm representing this company and I was the one bar of goat's milk girl, I need to understand. So the first step is oil cleansing. And it's counterintuitive, especially when somebody says I have oily skin. But oil attracts oil. And so when you use that as a cleanser, it draws things out of the pores and helps clean. It comes off, it's not like taking, olive oil and putting it on your skin. Literally, when you get in the shower. So what I do is to minimize the steps, I put that on before I get in the shower.
Okay.
And then in the shower, I rinse it off and I have a towel, I dry my face, and then I grab the snow cleanser. The snow cleanser is an enzyme cleanser. It's a white and it foams when you rub it on your face. Now,
Okay.
being the overachiever I was and not like I send everybody a video on how to do things, but I did not receive a video for anything. So I just was like,
Oh.
and I put it on my face and the first time, and I look like somebody hit me with a cream pie. So you just use a little bit, you rub it in, and it's very luxurious. It is very, very soft and it feels great. And then you rinse that off, and then I take the rest of my shower. I get out, I dry myself off, and then so that is the cleansing. There's also an alternative cleanser, which is a slight exfoliator, which is also enzyme. So
Okay.
there's actually three of the steps can be cleanser. You
Okay.
use the exfoliator maybe a couple times a week. You don't, I
Okay.
mean,
Similar
it's not
to
like,
other masks and
yeah, you would use that instead of one of the other cleansers. And then you use something called the calming balancing gel, which is hyaluronic acid, and it's
okay.
got cold flex and a few other things in it. And it really is refreshing. And any kind of, I mean, even if you had a mosquito bite, it would calm it down. It just is a lovely calming way about it. Then it's called the Viaton oil mist, which is a very, very fine spray that you put on that hydrates. So really, we've moved from cleansing to hydrating now because I think that's why when you use the products one time and you take a picture before and after, you see the difference because we are so dehydrated. And if we're dehydrated, imagine what our skin, which is face to face with the world, is all the time.
Yeah.
So, and actually, I was in Africa for a month, wasn't able to really use my products the way I wanted to because the sinks were hot and cold spigots.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Separately.
didn't have anything that would seal the sink. There was no thing. And so I really, maybe 4 times in the month, was able to do my whole ritual. But I carried that spray bottle of Viaton spray mist with me all day, every day. And whenever I felt like I was a little dehydrated or the sun had been out a little bit too much, I would just spray it. It's refreshing. There's almost no scent to any of these products, which I appreciate greatly because I am one of those people who are smell sensitive. If you give me certain things, I'm like, oh no, that turns my stomach, So I appreciate it. So it's a calming balancing gel, the Viaton mist, and then we have what we call Boo Say Boo. It's their little catchphrase. It's a booster that hydrates the face.
Okay.
Then you use the serum, which again is a thicker, more rich kind of hydration.
Okay.
And then you use the booster to kind of lock it all in.
Okay.
And then lastly, you have the cream, which is, the queen of the hydration and moisturizing. You have a little bit of a shine, which we call the Riman glow, or it's really just that our skin is so hydrated and if you look at the Asians, they call it glass skin. And you can see that it almost glows. It's really good. like I said, I never paid attention to this stuff before, and now everybody who walks by, I'm like, ooh, I wonder.
Uh-huh. It's like that, when you're looking for a car and you have your eyes set on a red Camry, and then that's all you see is red Camry.
Yeah, and I think again that goes back to law of attraction,
It is.
know?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So, and that's really it. Now that's what I use. That's the basic. There's also sunscreen. I'm
Okay.
less enamored with their sunscreen, but I love everything else. And that is the system that I started with for that month. Now, being 72, I have a few things that are still happening on this face that I'm like, okay, let's see if we can get a little bit more oomph here. And so those are water-based products, and I ask that anybody who's interested in the products start with those. And then no matter how bad they think they look, wait till their skin gets acclimated to the ingredients, to the products. It only takes maybe, I used it 10 days before I started to try the advanced. And the advanced has the same two cleansers, but it has a toner, what they call an ampoule, which is a serum, and then a cream. There's a few less products, but that product line is called nanotechnology liposomal.
Okay.
And the nanotechnology, for those who don't know, means that the particles are so small
Teeny. Mm-hmm.
that they actually can penetrate deeper in the skin, which is why I like people not to start with it because they
Mm.
could have detoxing. I had no
Mm-hmm.
detoxing when I started with the other and went to this.
Okay.
And liposomal because it is oil-based, but it doesn't feel oily at all. He did such a fabulous job creating these products. I really I'm so impressed by, and then the shampoo and the conditioner are amazing. I never thought I'd be putting some oil on my hands and going like this. I thought, oh, I'm going to look like Fonzie, with hair. No, not at
Carry
all.
your your
It's just
comb in your back pocket.
yes, gives it a little sheen, and it takes a little of the frizz away. But what's funny is, I don't know why for years now my back has always itched me. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
have no idea
Dry.
why.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always was buying healthy lotions, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
can't reach it. So my
Yeah.
husband put it on my back and he'd go, okay, I'd wake him up. I mean, that's how bad the itching was. I got to have some cream on my back. You got to do it now. So he
Uh-huh.
put it on my back, put it on my, and he'd go and he'd keep going like this. And then he
Wax
goes,
on, wax
and
off.
what do I do with this now? But it would still be there on his
Yeah.
hand. I said, just wipe it on my legs or I don't care. Well, fast forward to using Riman.
Uh-huh.
I thought, oh, still got a bunch of the lotions, but you know what? I'm going to order it to see what it's like. My husband says to me one day, this product is weird. I'm like, what do you mean weird?
What?
He said, when I put the lotion on your back, it goes into your skin so fast, I can't even see where I've put it.
Oh,
So if
wow.
you think about it, that's exactly what we want. We
Yeah.
want this to go deep into the skin,
Mm-hmm.
start to heal the skin from the inside out.
Yeah.
And now I hardly ever ask him anymore to put the stuff on my back because whatever it was, it doesn't happen
Huh.
now.
Wow.
So I'm like a walking billboard.
You're passionate about it.
Well, I've had results.
Mm-hmm.
In having
Yeah.
results, I mean,
Yeah.
I've never been a particularly, I don't want to say vain, really
Mm-hmm.
cared how I looked. I didn't always
Mm-hmm.
wear makeup and I don't always wear makeup or anything,
Yeah.
but
I don't like to
but
anymore.
having the experience of seeing myself uh kind of age backwards, and all it was something that truly got into the cells of my skin and hydrated it.
Yeah.
There's like people who like all of a sudden they have cheekbones, they have things. We have a Facebook group. If you ever want, I'm happy to add you or anybody to it. They just have to be friends with me on Facebook. There's hundreds of people in that group that have befores and afters. Because it repairs the skin, people with eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, fine lines and wrinkles, whatever it happens to be, it seems to like heal those cells and people. Now, let me give you a, what do you want to call it? A little caveat for rosacea. It does help. I've seen people like immensely have changes in their skin. But rosacea, just so you know, it usually indicates that there's some sort of a gut problem. So
Really?
the two things should be addressed at the same time.
Interesting.
The skincare does great for taking away that real red, but if you're still trashing your gut, yeah. Oh, and
Fascinating.
acne, you should see the pictures. I have never seen anything like it in my life. These kids, it was so sad to see how they were. And that's when you have young people, especially. I mean, there are adults who have acne too, but when they're in the prime of their teenage years or something, and it's devastating, I think, socially for them. And now there's an answer. It's lovely.
They're at a time in their life when they're trying their hardest to fit in and to be, to find their way.
Right. And
So
it's
to
hard
have
when people judge you from the outside, right?
Or you judge yourself and you feel like here's the standard and you're not there. I mean, it's just, as a kid, it's harder to have your self-esteem if you're not feeling like you're up to the bar of where you would like to be or what's expected. And yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, it is. But, at least we have an answer.
Well, yeah.
I just have to get to the people. That's all. So, and I'm happy to. I love to, like I say, I love to do the spa parties. If anybody wants to do that, and bring the products over. You have a few people over and we just play and do before and after pictures, and it's really fun. Just a nice way to spend an evening or an afternoon.
I'm sure, and with the girls.
Yeah.
So, Judy, how would people, local people in Southwest Florida, can find you in person? What would be a good way to connect with you? Because, there are listeners from across the country, and how would you like people to contact you or learn more about what you're doing?
Oh gosh. Easiest is probably I have Facebook.
Okay.
But I'm Judy Hahn. I don't know. I can give you a link if you want.
I'll put that in the show notes for sure.
And I can also put a link to the Riman website so people can look and see what the products are about. But I've been an educator since I was 16. And so I want people to know that there's no such thing as a stupid question except the one that you don't ask. So please feel free to ask any question. And there's some great, they don't have sales usually. Luxury line type things don't usually do sales, but they're going to do some amazing bundles for Black Friday. And
good timing.
If anybody wants to know about that, to let me know so I can let them know before things sell out like crazy. I've never seen anything like it. We have these experience kits. They have an experience kit for the basic. It's like little mini bottles, like little travel bottles. It includes the alternate cleanser and not the other two. But it's like for $100, you have all these products and you can experience it. Well, they had them online, and in 3 hours, they were gone.
Oh,
You have to understand, Korean skincare is on TikTok, I guess, which is one of the places I am not. But it has increased 600% interest in Korean skincare over the last year. When I first learned about it, it was 300%. So it is really something that is trending, but and I can't speak to other lines. I do know the quality of this and the health, benefits as far as it helping to heal skin. So I appreciate your asking. I can also put my email address if somebody wants to contact me that way.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll include whatever you're comfortable with in the show
sure.
notes. So
That would
yeah,
be
for
great.
sure.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Well, something fun and off topic.
Yes.
I always ask my guests at the end, what's your favorite cocktail or kind of wine? And what's a memory shared with girlfriends, having a nice glass of whatever?
Well, this is called amarula.
Amarula.
Amarula is a fruit in Africa that the
Okay.
elephants like to eat when it ferments.
Okay.
It is mixed with cream, so it is a Bailey's kind of, just to
Okay.
give you an idea. It's
Yeah.
like I'm not a Bailey's person, but I could live on this stuff. But the woman who I traveled to Africa with both this year and last year, we have a drink called the Phoenix Martini because her name is Phoenix. It is 2 shots of Amarula and
Uh-huh.
1 shot of a good vodka like Grey Goose,
Uh-huh.
shaken and served in a martini glass. And
Oh,
she and I drank that all across Africa.
that sounds
So
delightful.
it was quite lovely. And
Wow. What's the
I brought it
flavor?
back. It's really very because of the cream, it's
Uh-huh.
very Bailey's like,
Okay. So
but
there's not
it's
really a fruity kind of
no, it's
overtone
kind of
or
strange that way. It's
caramely.
not.
Okay.
No, yeah, maybe a little caramely. There's a few different kinds. There's an espresso one I noticed, but I
Oh,
still think I like the original one the most. You
okay.
can get it at Total Wine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's not like yeah, you look where the like the coffee liqueurs are. That's
Okay.
where I think I found the bottle.
Okay.
And in the Grey Goose or whatever
Yeah.
nice vodka you use.
Hmm. A pantry
And
staple in my house.
yeah, there you go. And it's really fun because I had never heard of it until I went to Africa.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a huge drinker to begin with, but it's just a fun cap to an evening where somebody's asked us about a trip to Africa. And
Yeah.
yes, it's cheap here, so you don't have to
Oh,
like it's $26 a bottle or something.
oh, it's not bad.
No,
Well,
it's
and
not
it
bad.
takes you back. I mean, drinks experience, it just takes you right back to where you were having those lovely moments with your friend. And
Absolutely. And she and I spent the month together in Africa. We were supposed to be going to a photography program that turned out to not really exist the way it was supposed
oh,
to. So we
no.
created our own trip, and to celebrate that, we had many evenings of Amarula martinis.
You had some free time.
No, we actually created a whole nother trip.
Okay.
Yeah, we were there. We were not gonna like not spend the time, but the program was not what it was supposed to be. So we left and
Oh,
did our own thing. But
okay.
yeah,
Plan B.
yep, you got to always have a plan
That's
B.
right. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I go to G.
Oh my God.
You just never know.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that now. Hmm,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, why not? I mean, just spontaneity is a good thing, but yeah, always it's like, when you have your heart set on something or your expectation is at a certain level and then it doesn't turn out to be that way or it's different. I mean, what's your mindset? Is it going to be like, oh, I'm so disappointed? No, you're in Africa. You're not going to be disappointed.
Well, and
Don't-
that's what people were like, how amazing. The program was totally not what they said it was. And instead of being upset, the two of you found another way to
Go to
travel
plan
for three
B.
weeks in
That's right.
Africa.
That's right. That's right. discover something new, take an adventure and look at it in that vein that it's, oh gosh, I'm having this great time with my girlfriend and look at this adventure we're on together.
Plus, now we can go back and find a real photography program. It's a hobby that
an
both of us
opportunity.
have.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Judy, this has been so fun.
Oh, thank you. It was lovely to be invited to do this and so special to get time to talk to you like this.
Yeah, I'm grateful for the opportunity. It's been fun.
Thanks again, Penny. This was
Thank
super.
you. Yes, it was. I appreciate it a bunch. And have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, you too. Bye,
See you
hon.
soon. Bye.